Cuckoo here with a different cast challenge today. I am going to be doing more Disney bounds in future, but since I did like 16 of them last month, I decided I would do something new. So today I'm going to be doing the main characters from My Little Pony. I decided to do this as a speed cast because there are just so many characters, and I didn't want to do like one episode per character because I don't actually know how many My Little Pony fans are watching Sims videos. Not sure what the crossover on that is. I guess we'll find out. I am a huge My Little Pony fan. It's one of my favorite shows. I haven't actually seen the final season. I got so sad that it was ending that I just kind of stopped watching it, which doesn't make sense. I was really enjoying it up to that point, so I need to just finish it. So, of course, we're starting with the princess of friendship herself, Twilight Sparkle. I love Twilight. She is one of my favorite characters of all times, like, in anything. She's so relatable with her, like, anxiety and her lists. Oh my gosh, her lists. Every time I make, like, a crazy detailed list planning out my entire life, I'm like, oh, I am Twilight Sparkle. And when she just, like, loses her mind, one of my favorite Twilight moments is in Season 2, Episode 1, when she just, like, has a complete Gollum moment and starts just like talking to herself. She's so crazy and it's great. But she's also like an amazing princess, and I love her enthusiasm over like really nerdy things that no one else cares about. Another thing I relate to about Twilight, like when she goes off about silverware placement, and you're just like, okay, Twilight, sure. One of my favorite journeys that Twilight goes through is in the My Little Pony movie, which is so fabulous. I went with Lexi and my little cousin Sticky. Her name's not actually Sticky, I just call her that. I went with them and my mom, and like, I was so excited to go with the little girls because I was like, they'll be so cute watching the movie. And then I realized I didn't want to sit by them because they were like talking and being really cute, and they were super into the movie. They weren't like disrespectful or annoying, but I was like, I don't want to watch them. I want to watch the movie. Fortunately, my mom took care of them so I could be super immersed in the movie because it's so good. And Twilight's journey is just amazing. To this point, this is like between season 7 and 8, I think. She's gone through a lot of character development. At the beginning of the movie, she's melting down because she has to plan a concert. And she's doing like pretty well for Twilight. Like she's holding it together, but she's stressed. And then it goes from you have to plan a concert to you have to save the world. And she doesn't handle it well. But it's so compelling because you just watch her like become this person who will like betray her friends. And it makes so much sense. And like you're on her side, but you're also like, Twilight, why are you doing this? And it's just so good. Like she's so flawed in the movie and I love it. And of course she comes out strong in the end and she's amazing. And I love Twilight, okay? I find her a really inspiring character. And I had a lot of fun doing her look. It came out a little weird, but I like it. I got really fixated on this skirt. Like, I tried so hard to put her in something else, but I wanted that skirt so bad. She didn't wind up being as nerdy as I expected. Like, that's the direction I was planning to go, but she came out kind of quirky and cute. Something just kind of different, and honestly, it seems very Twilight to me. Like, I don't know why this screams Twilight to me, but it really does. Obviously, the hair is a little not quite the right color, but I really like it. I feel like it works. I feel like you look at her, and if you know that she's supposed to be one of the My Little Pony characters, you can tell which one she is. So then we have Applejack, who is the other pony I most relate to. I'm kind of this mixture between Twilight and Applejack. I'm not as country as she is, but I kind of want to be. Like, I want to marry a farm boy and go live on his farm and be the farmer's wife. Like, that is my true life aspiration. And I could work a farm. Like, I think I could pluck a chicken, and I could do all those things. Not that Applejack ever plucks chickens. I really want to see a pony pluck a chicken. Not really the sort of thing they show on My Little Pony, but interesting. I guess they never would, because they don't eat meat, because they're ponies. I'm just really drawn to Applejack's lifestyle and her honesty, and the way she is with her friends, I really relate to. Just, she's a little bit bluff and honest, but she's also, like, really nice and kind of focused on her own stuff a lot of the time. Like, she's very, very hardworking to the point of being obsessive, and I get that. I also think Applejack is a Slitherpuff. Like, she definitely gives off strong Hufflepuff vibes with that, like, become part of my family, let me feed you all the food, you know, like, that whole thing. But then she definitely has a lot of Slytherin in her. She's extremely ambitious. Everything is about her business, which makes her sound a lot like Verity. Like, it's funny how much she and Verity have in common, even though they're, like, polar opposites. But I'm just thinking about, like, the episode when Applejack wants to go to the gala because she wants to sell food to make money to, like, fix up her farm. Like, everything is kind of connected with the orchard and the farm and, like, how she takes care of it. And, like I said, to the point of obsessive. And that is 100% how I would be if I had a farm, and it's how I am with my writing. Like, everything comes back to that. Her look was really fun fun to do. Of course, I had to find a good hat. I wanted to go a little more like Cowgirl, but this one was just so much cuter. And I wound up with like flowers on the jeans because they were like that pop of red that you get with like the apples on her flank. I really wanted something like apple themed, but I just didn't have anything like that. I did wind up with like cute boots, and I really think she came together very country, very cutesy. Another look that I just really had a lot of fun making, and I feel like she came together like the easiest of all the looks. Maybe just because I get her the most, like I would dress kind of like this. Not exactly like this, I wouldn't wear this outfit, but something kind of like this I could feel. Next is Fluttershy, who got 2 makeovers because I started her as blonde, and you will see later I do wind up with pink hair. I found a really cute pink hair that I was super excited about, so I came back. And I struggle with Fluttershy. She is my least favorite character in My Little Pony, and it makes me sad because my dear friend who watches all my videos, it says she's Fluttershy, and so like, I'm not insulting you, Lady Violet, I love you, and I do think that there are a lot of parallels between your personalities in that they have very similar aesthetics. I love Fluttershy's aesthetic. Her like soft pastel colors and the butterflies and the animals and the little cottage, like absolutely love that aesthetic, and it's very much my friend. And also just like really nice to animals and loves them and cares for them, absolutely. And then I think my friend is very similar to people's perception of Fluttershy. The show tells us constantly that Fluttershy is nice. And so people see Fluttershy as like super nice. She represents the element of kindness. I do believe that every pony represents the element that they have the hardest time with. I believe very strongly that we as people, our strengths and our weaknesses tend to be more closely related than you might think. Applejack is honest, but she also has a past of being a liar. That's how she became super, super honest, as she saw the consequences of lying. Verity is super generous, but she very much values her things and can be very selfish if she's not being self-aware. And I think Fluttershy is the same way. I think that kindness is actually really hard for her. She naturally is kind of selfish and very, very passive-aggressive. But she wants to be nice, and she can be super nice. My problem with Fluttershy is that the show often shows her being mean and calls it strength. Like, when she overcomes her shyness, she becomes more aggressive. And even though there are episodes that show that as a bad thing, there are also episodes that show it as a good thing. I don't know. I don't like Fluttershy. But she is really cute, and I had a lot of fun doing her look. I actually think hers might be my favorite that I did. Next is Verity, who is one of my favorite characters, actually. I love Verity. I love her business savvy, and, like, she is such a Slytherin. Like, Applejack is a Slitherpuff. Verity is just straight up Slytherin. Like, she is ambition personified, and I love that. I also just love how glam she is and how melodramatic. I really, really, really wanted to do purple hair. You will see that I tried purple hair repeatedly, but I only had that one, and it just really didn't fit her. So I wound up doing purple in her clothes and white for her hair, and I feel like it worked. She definitely came out very, very glam. One of my favorite episodes of the show is actually the dog one where she gets kidnapped. And just the whole concept of just because a pony is ladylike doesn't mean she isn't strong. Like, that theme is personified in Verity, and I really appreciate it. I mean, she's also just, like, over the top and ridiculous, and I adore that about her. Verity-centric episodes are often some of my favorites, although I do really hate the one where she makes all of her friends dresses and they hate them, because nothing about that episode makes sense. But it has good music, so I watch it every time anyways. I don't normally do looks this, like, glam and over the top, so I'm not sure how well she turned out, but I had a lot of fun making her. Next is Rainbow Dash, who I think is actually the cutest pony. I didn't really go cute, obviously, since it's not really her vibe, but there's something about Rainbow Dash I just find adorable. I also think she's a really fun personality with her, like, boisterous craziness. I made her a bro in The Sims, because she just has this, like, really chill, but also kind of over-the-top personality. I don't know how she mixes those two, but it's great. She also just, like, reminds me a lot of my cousin, who's not, like, sporty, hates to read, but occasionally gets, like, obsessed with a book series, and, like, she just is my cousin, and so that just makes me love her that much more. Her style was really hard for me to do, because she's really that sporty, athletic, and that's just, like, not my vibe. I don't really get it. Like, I do. I understand people being that way, but it was hard for me to style. I hope she came out cute. She definitely came out like really comfy, sporty. Like you look at her and you see athlete, so that's what I was going for. Also, of course, I have this rainbow hair. I had two to choose from, and it was a really hard choice because they both have kind of a sporty vibe. But like the first time I put on the ponytail from Get Famous, I was like, oh, it's Rainbow Dash hair. And now I finally get to use it for Rainbow Dash, so that was fun. Rainbow is such a fun character to follow. I love her passion for the Wonderbolts and like watching that journey unfold. I love her relationship with Scootaloo, the way she like adopts her as a little sister. It's so cute and it just fills my heart with joy. Like I say, Rainbow Dash's look was probably the least fun for me to do. She didn't even wear makeup because I could not envision Rainbow Dash putting on makeup. I could see Verity holding her down and putting makeup on her for like the gala and stuff. But like everyday sporty Rainbow Dash look, she's not wearing makeup. It's just not gonna happen. But I love her and I love that I got to use this hair, so that's what I came out with. Then we have Pinkie Pie, who is my mother. Everybody's a pony, or a combination of ponies. And my mother is 100% Pinkie Pie. Like, if she could have a confetti cannon, that thing would be going off all the time. Oddly, Pinkie Pie was, like, the hardest for me to style. I wound up designing, like, her face twice, and I'm still not, like, 100% on it. I do think she came out a lot cuter the second time. I know I just said Rainbow Dash was my hardest, but Rainbow Dash's, like, overall style was hard for me. Pinkie Pie should have been easy. Like, I feel like I get her. But I just did not know what to put her in. Like, none of the clothes we have just felt right. I like what I came out with. I feel like it's cute and very casual and fun and the sort of thing you would wear to, like, a summer party. But it doesn't, like, scream Pinkie Pie. The only thing that screams Pinkie Pie about this look is her hair. I do also really love the necklace I ended up with. It definitely has, like, her cutie mark vibes without being, like, a balloon. Pinkie is just, because she's my mother, I just, like, she was automatically endearing to me, and she's such a great character. Like, I just love how much she loves everybody and how much thought she puts into things she does for them. And I love her crazy. Everybody on this show has moments where they just go completely insane. And Pinkie Pie's is my favorite, where she thinks all of her friends, like, hate her parties. And so she throws herself a party with, like, a bag of flour as one of the guests. And, like, she does all their voices. If you haven't seen this episode, you need to, because it is gloriously psychotic. Like, it is high-level trippy, and it's so great. There's also an episode where she, like, duplicates herself because more Pinkies is more fun. Actually, she duplicates herself because she's having FOMO because all of her friends are doing fun things and she can't be everywhere at once. And that's just one of those things, like, I often reference that episode when talking to my mom because my mom has such hardcore FOMO all the time. I also really love the episode where she's babysitting the Cake Twins, because I just relate to that one on a hard level. Like, I don't normally relate to Pinkie Pie, but her, like, breakdown while babysitting, I've had so many of those. There have been so many times where I was babysitting, like, 9 kids, and, like, I don't know, I was, like, 12. Who put me in charge of, like, 9 kids at once? But it happened, and I had emotional breakdowns, and that episode resonates with me. But Pinkie is just fun and funny, but also the show isn't afraid to show her depth and her struggles, and that's just what I love about this show. Like, it is so silly and fun, but it has so much depth, and it really has relatable messages, not just to little kids, but, like, as an adult, there are things that I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, I understand this, and I really appreciate that. So if you haven't watched this show because you're like, it's for kids, give it a try. It's well written and just really engaging and fun, and I love it with all my ness. So like I say, not super happy with how Pinkie came out, but I do think she's cute, so what are you gonna do? I like her. It's fine. And finally, of course, I had to do Spike, because Spike is part of the main crew. Like, I know it's the main 6, but I always just kind of have it as the main 7 in my head, because Spike is always there, and he's amazing. And I love that the show, like, gives him attention, and he has episodes that revolve around him, and I love his journey. He actually has one of my favorite songs. There's an episode where he's in the Crystal Kingdom, where he's, like, lauded as a hero, and he winds up befriending a changeling, which is very, like, looked down upon. Not even looked down upon, it's feared. Changelings are the enemy. And he becomes friends with one, but then everyone's like, oh, you can't befriend a changeling. And so he turns against his friend. And then he sings a song about, like, being a hero. And it's so good. But I just really love Spike. I love how, like, helpful he is, but how he, like, lives off praise and can be kind of self-absorbed. And he's such an interesting character. He also can be pretty immature, but he's literally a baby, which is why I designed a child, because Spike's very little in the beginning. Like, we see him age into a teenager throughout the show. But he's just so cute. I did a very simple look. I wanted to do the mohawk, but I didn't have that in green. And I think the hair I chose really worked out. And he just has that, like, green and purple, very simple. But I thought he was really cute. And I had to do Spike to show my love of Spike the Dragon.
Once upon a time, you came into my world and made the stars align. Now I can see the signs. You pick me up when I get down so I can shine. Shine like rainbows. Shine like rainbows. Friends, you are in my life, and you can count on me to be there by your side. And when the music comes alive, we sing our songs to lift us up so we can shine. And the sound that we hear in our hearts is a crescendo. And the light that ignites in the dark, it makes us stronger.
So those are the main characters of My Little Pony. I had so much fun designing them. Let me know if you want to see more My Little Pony videos, because there are a ton of characters that I could design. If there are any in particular you would like to see, drop them as a comment and I would be happy to make them. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next episode. Bye!